Hello, my artists. I hope you enjoy listening to the story, The Parrot Tico Tango, read by myself and Mrs. Welch. If you're watching this video, it means that you moved on to step 2 and you're ready to draw your parrot. Before we can start, let's talk about the materials you're going to need. All right, my friends. So before we get started, I said we were going to talk really quickly about the materials you're going to need to use today. So to start, just like in art class normally, we are going to begin using a pencil. Any pencil will work. These are my favorite kinds of pencils. These are the kinds that I use. We're going to start by drawing our parrot in the background using a pencil. After you draw, of course, you know I like to make you outline. So we are going to outline using a waterproof marker. So you can use Sharpie, you can use oil pastel, or you can use crayon if you don't happen to have a Sharpie. You do not want to use like a Crayola marker though, because if you use water on top of that to paint, it's just going to smudge and it's going to make a mess. After that, we're going to move on to oil pastels. So you can use oil pastels, or if you don't have oil pastels, you can use crayons. Crayons will work just fine too. We're going to use those to add some details before we paint. And then finally, we are going to use paint. So I just have these little trays of watercolors. There's all different kinds. I would suggest using watercolors if you have them. Of course, if you're using watercolors, you're going to need water and a couple of different size paintbrushes. So the two paintbrushes I have, one's a little bit bigger, one's a little smaller. The smaller one is to go over the small details. And you're gonna treat your brushes with respect, just like we do in the classroom, hopefully. Thinking about Pete the paintbrush, how his hair likes to stay nice and neat. Don't mix colors in the tray, and if you need to grab a paper towel, definitely do that to dab your brush if you have too much water on it. So the materials you're gonna need are pencil, Sharpie, oil pastels or crayons, and paint. Okay, so we're gonna start drawing our parrot. And I'm going to use a waterproof marker. I would suggest you start by using pencil first and then trace over it with Sharpie just like we do in class. So if you make a mistake, you can erase it. So we're gonna start off with the eye of our parrot. And it's gonna be about halfway in the middle, like in the middle of our paper. But we're gonna go over to the side just a little bit. And I'm gonna start by drawing a circle. Inside that circle, I'm gonna do a very small one. This is gonna turn into the highlight of the eye, so it looks like it's shiny. And then I'm gonna draw another circle inside, and I'm gonna color this in black, and that's gonna be the pupil of the parrot's eye. After I do that, I'm gonna draw a shape. It's gonna just be a bump that comes up over the eye, comes down and stops. This is going to turn into the back of the parrot's neck and then the front of the parrot's face. So I'm going to start right on the side over here. I'm going to come up and then come down to about here. Doesn't really look like much of a parrot yet, but we have a lot more details we're going to add. So first I'm going to have the back of this line go right to the edge of the page. And then I'm going to draw the wing. So the wing's gonna come up and it's gonna come down. So he's got a big wing. And I'm gonna add the feathers just by adding some bumps. Kind of like U shapes that go right across the wing. So when I draw my feathers, I like them to kind of line up right in the middle of the one above it. If you're doing a mermaid tail, you can make mermaid scales that way, fish scales. You can use that same technique. They line up right underneath, in the middle of the bump above it. Makes it look just a little bit neater. So this guy's got lots of feathers because he has a big wing. I'm going to fill that all the way down to the bottom, so it's kind of going right off of the page. Now you might notice that my paper has a black border around it. The only reason I drew that is because my walls in my dining room are white, kind of like a whitish color, and I wanted you to be able to see the edge of my paper. So this is not something that you need to do. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the beak. Beak's gonna go right over here. You can make your beak look a little bit differently than mine if you like, so I'm gonna do a bump. And then I'm gonna do a line in to connect it to the head. That's the top of the beak. And then I want his beak to be open, so I'm gonna do a little line here and draw another line to connect it to the head. So now he has his full beak. And I want him to have some little feathers kind of poking up on the back. You could give him like a little mohawk if you want, like a cockatoo. Add those little details that make your own parrot special. So my parrot is pretty much finished. We're gonna add the background. So he's kind of like in a rainforest near a beautiful waterfall. So I'm gonna do a river. I'm gonna do just a wavy line down here all the way to the edge of the paper. And then this is gonna be like a mountain, almost like a cliff where the waterfall is gonna come from. So I'm gonna do another wavy line up here, leaving a little bit of space at the top so I can add some other details. And now I'm gonna draw my waterfall. So I'm just gonna do two wavy lines. One comes down on this side, and then the other one on this side. I feel like this looks very empty. This looks empty. We need to add some more details. So I'm gonna add a couple little bushes. This bush is gonna come off on the side over here. They're like little clouds. One here, one's a little bit bigger, maybe a little taller. I think I'm gonna put one kind of behind my parrot here. Do another one in front of where his wing is. Have it come out like next to the waterfall. And then at the top here, I'm gonna add a couple more bushes. Just a couple small ones, two together, one little one by himself over here, maybe one over here. If you don't like those bushes, you definitely don't need to add them. If you want to add some clouds in the sky, you could do that. If you want to add a sun somewhere for another detail in the sky, you could also do that. I just thought this looked kind of plain, so I wanted to add that detail. And that is that for drawing our parrot. If you used a pencil, take the time now to go ahead over that with a Sharpie, tracing over all of your pencil lines, and then you can erase your pencil lines using an eraser to make your paper nice and clean. All right, my friends, now that you have drawn and outlined your parrot, the next thing we are going to do is add a couple little details using oil pastels, or you can use crayons. We're not coloring anything in, we're just gonna go and add a couple little lines just to add some detail, make it stand out a little bit nicer for when we paint. So when I do things that have bushes or water, I like to use different colors or different shades of one color. So for example, my bushes will be green. I'm gonna use a couple different color greens to add the little color detail, and then also when I paint, I'm gonna use different color greens as well. So I'm gonna start off with like a regular, nice, bright secondary color green, and I'm just gonna kind of follow along the line that I drew for my bush. I'm not coloring anything in. I'm almost adding like kind of like a little shadow or a little highlight on the bush so that it makes it look a little bit more interesting. So I used that same color for 3. I'm gonna take another green. This is like a lime green. You can decide to use the same color green for all of them. You can skip this step completely if you don't want to do it. It's totally up to you. I think I'm gonna use that same nice lime green right behind my parrot also. And then I have a very dark green. I've got one more little bush up here that I need to outline, so I'm just gonna use this really dark green for that one. So this, as I said before, is kind of like a cliff. So I'm gonna use brown just to draw a line right up along the top of the cliff using my brown oil pastel or my brown crayon. And then For the water, I'm gonna do some water lines, and I'm gonna use a bunch of different color blues. So I have this nice light blue to start, and I'm just doing little wavy lines, thinking about the way that water moves. This is an important detail that you are going to want to add, because when you move on to step 3 with Mrs. Welch, she'll fill you in on that a little bit more. Got a nice primary color blue. Again, following kind of next to the other ones, doing that same wavy line. It's okay if they overlap on top of each other. We're just adding a little more detail, making it a little bit more interesting. It's already starting to come together. And then I have this very, very dark blue, almost like a midnight blue. I'll do the same thing right over some of my other lines. It's totally fine. Making it look like the water is moving instead of maybe like it's grass. So now I want you to think about the colors you want to use for your parrot. The colors that I choose do not have to be the same ones that you guys choose. You know, I don't want your artwork to look just like mine. You wouldn't go to a museum and look at a bunch of pieces that look exactly the same. So make this your own. But I am going to use a nice bright red, primary color red, to kind of go over, outline my parrot a little bit. It looks a little weird, but it'll look better when I paint. And then I'm thinking about the colors that I want to use for the wings. So because I used red for the body of my bird, I kind of want the wings to be like rainbow. I think that'll be interesting. So the next color of the rainbow is orange. So I'm gonna go along and just outline my first row of feathers using orange. The next row I'll use yellow. For the next row I'm going to use that nice bright lime green. Then I will use my primary color blue. Again, I'm not coloring in anything, I'm just kind of outlining a little bit. Use a pretty purple. And I still have rows of feathers left, so I'm just gonna start my rainbow order over, but I'm gonna start with orange instead of red because I'm using red for the body of the bird. And then yellow. And I'm just gonna leave these little spots, but I'll paint those when I get to that. I think I'm gonna use yellow for the little mohawk I gave him. And I'm gonna use a nice light orange to outline the beak. And I just realized I missed a little bush over here, so I'm gonna go back and just kind of fill that in very quickly before I move on to painting. And that's it for the oil pastels or the crayons. Okay, so now you've drawn, outlined, and added little details to your parrot using oil pastels or crayons. The next step is to paint our parrot and the background around our parrot. If you choose not to use paint, that's completely fine. You may not have paint at home, or maybe you just don't like using it, and that's okay. But if you are going to choose to color, it's very important that you're using bright colors. You're filling in all of your spaces. There are no white spots showing. So we're gonna make sure that we're painting or coloring our papers from side to side, top to bottom, corner to corner. We don't wanna see any white spots, because when we move on to step 3 with Mrs. Welch, and we're doing the super special exciting part, your artwork is not gonna look as nice as it would if it was nice and bright and fully painted or fully covered. So I'm going to paint mine. I'm gonna take my time, but I'm not gonna make you watch me do it the entire time. I'm gonna make it super fast. So have fun watching me paint in time lapse, and I'll see you in a little bit. now that you've finished your amazing parrots, it's time to move on to step number 3 with Mrs. Welch. This part is going to include technology, and I'm so excited for you to do this next step. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to let Mrs. Welch tell you about it, but I will say it's really going to make your paintings come to life. I cannot wait to see the way that they come out when you're done, so make sure that you email them to me and Mrs. Welch so we can see all of your hard work. See you soon!